All right, good evening, everyone. It is May 9th, 2021. Happy Mother's Day. The time is 7:02 p.m. I am calling the BoD meeting to order. Let us see who is all here from top to bottom. Astral Winds.
Yep.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupin Moon.
Present.
Frozen Coast.
Yep.
Icefire Bay.
Here.
Kingdom Prime Minister.
Present.
Looks like we do not have Nilarian tonight. That is fine, and I am present as well. All right, has everyone reviewed the meeting minutes that were sent out the other day, I think about Wednesday, to show that we met last month and we discussed things?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Do we have any discussion?
Not from my end, at least.
All right, hearing no discussion, then I will make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second that motion.
It has been seconded. This vote is to accept the meeting minutes as written from top to bottom. Ashwin.
Yes.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupin Moon.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Icefire Bay.
Yes.
Kingdom Prime Minister.
Yes.
And I accept the meeting minutes as well. Excellent. All right, next on our agenda this evening is I would like to update our mitigation plan. I have posted it ahead of time to the BoD, as well as I have posted it here in the chat for anyone who might want to read it and look at questions. The biggest highlights and changes, we would like to open up fighters practice and ANS. So is there any discussion on this document?
Let me take a look at it really quick. Are we still stating that these things cannot take place at private abodes and they do need to be in public areas?
It does not specifically state that, but I can add that.
Yeah, I would like to see that caveat because, again, most public places do have COVID mitigation plans in place, such as disinfection protocols, etc., and most private abodes do not. If anybody disagrees with me, please let me know. But it may be for the better at this time.
I'm on board with that.
Same. I'm on board with that as well.
I don't see an issue with it. I would rather proceed in a more measured fashion than a faster fashion on this.
Excellent. I have added that line to, was it 3? Line 3, it now states, regular meetings, fighters practice, and ANS may be held at this time. All meetings must take place in a public area, not in a private home.
Then
Sounds great.
Any other discussion on this?
I'm scanning it one more time. Looks like number 7, physical distancing is now recommended as opposed to enforced.
Yes.
And food can still be provided in single-use containers. This still means that we are not allowing people to bring prepackaged food that is homemade in their own kitchens, correct?
Correct. That's the next step.
Fantastic.
Any other discussion or questions on this?
I'm on board with it.
I move to accept the new proposed COVID mitigation.
I second that.
Excellent. The motion on the floor is to accept the new mitigation plan 2B. The vote is to whether or not we accept this. So from top to bottom, Astro wins.
Big yes for me.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupin Moon.
Yes, ma'am.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Ice Fire Bay,
Yes.
Kingdom Prime Minister. I think that was a yes. Still couldn't hear it.
Yes.
Thank you. And I also accept that motion passes. We are now in mitigation plan 2B, or not to be.
Ah,
The next thing on the docket is I want to start. We might end up tabling this discussion if we do not to the final to the next meeting in 2 weeks. But at least I wanted to get our discussion that we were having out into the public and start forming words to what we would like to do for Wolf's Cry as part of our mitigation plan. I have also linked this document in the chat. If anyone has any comments or questions or concerns, speak now. I know the biggest one, I think at this point, is line number 1. There is a line number 1 that says we are going to have a dry event. Then there is line number 1 that says we will have a limited alcohol event. I think that is the biggest thing that we have to decide on or there is actually technically a line number 3 or an option where there is no line number 1. But gathered from the discussion that was posted 2 weeks ago, looks like a majority of the people would like either a dry event or a limited alcohol event. We would just need to discuss and figure out what level of comfortability, if we were to move forward with Wolf's Cry, which I had put the date of 5/23 is going to be our go no go, with the caveat of if we decide go and something, God forbid, horribly goes wrong in June, we will still pull the plug. But everything is looking like it is slowly improving. Numbers are dropping, more people are getting vaccinated, so I think we could probably safely move forward with this event with extra caution. So I took all of our discussion, put them into words, presented you with the document. Any discussion on this document? And go.
I was originally of the opinion that it should be a dry event. I think that alcohol is a inhibitor when it comes to people being reminded that we are not completely out of the brush yet. That being said, myself and several others received titles at a time where we couldn't celebrate with our friends in the capacity that had happened before. And I know part of that tradition is being able to buy a drink for new paragons and lords and ladies, etc., etc. With our limited drinks in place, we still wouldn't be able to buy them for them, but we would be able to raise a drink with them. And I think that is a tradition that I think it's important to Amtgard. And I think that even if it is appearing in a different way, being able to break liquid bread with your friends, so to speak, is important. So I'm definitely on board for the limited drink, as long as it doesn't cause too many administrative problems for the Mammoth Bar and Grill and the Kratz.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that people can be like respectful and honorable. I also support the limited drinks. Um, I am a proud nerd, and sometimes it helps people, and I'm not the only one. So I know that it helps people relax a little bit to have a drink or two. And with the limit being at 3, that's a reasonable amount there or whatnot. But um, I slightly concerned about people perhaps trying to skirt the things or whatnot, and I really hope that nobody would.
And we can also discuss the number. I arbitrarily picked 3 out of the air to kind of start with, so that's not set in stone also.
We do have to work off of the assumption that most of our people are as honorable as their waiver and social contract with Amtgard allows them. So I don't think that we should consider it being an issue until it becomes an issue, if that makes sense.
Indeed. Perhaps to figure out that a cap on drinks, maybe we could do a poll on people's alcohol. I know that some people are very sensitive to alcohol. Some people can handle quite a bit. So, for one person, they might be completely intoxicated after 3 drinks, when another will slightly feel a buzz.
Yeah, I'm not looking for us to be responsible for people's varying livers.
This is true, though. I guess I wonder if maybe 2 would be a better number than 3.
Fine about a damp event. I think we can pretty much trust our populace to abide by the rules. Even, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think most of us have shown a good understanding of the general situation and a good willingness to work with the mitigation protocols. I don't feel like we've had any substantial issues with people not following our rules. So, like, I think our populace, I think our populace has shown a very good personal responsibility through this pandemic.
Yeah, I personally agree with everyone else. They pretty much covered it all. Everyone seems to be pretty responsible, and I think we can trust them to make the right decision with what limits we set before them.
I see Karen, the tavern chat or tavern crat. You're here. Can you give me an idea what or remind me what the costs are for getting a license for us to sell the liquor?
I believe it was like $65, $50 to $65 a day. So we would have to have it for 2 days. But she's typing now. $50 a night, so it would be $100.
Okay, and that was just a thought that for me was just making sure that we're going to have this limit set at something that would make sense for us to be able to cover that cost as well as still have it reasonable price on the alcohol and still have Northreach either break even or make some form of profit on it.
Indeed, that's an important thing to look at for sure, and that seems to be a pretty reasonable price.
I agree with what Rose Death just said. 3 tickets per drink would probably still cover that license and net us a small profit.
So it sounds like we will not have a drive. Majority are opting for the damp event, and then how about anything else regarding the plan that's been put forth? Well, that might be a good idea if you plan to drink, pre-purchase your tickets so we can just give you like a punch card.
Yeah, that does sound like
I like that idea. I think that's a good idea. And then it gives us a way to plan ahead as well. And, we can put various safety measures in place. We can keep track better. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, if we know that we need to provide, this all obviously low, but like if we knew we had to buy 100 bottles of alcohol, yeah, it'd help keep track of that much better. Purchase food. Are you referring to the bar and grill? Oh, feast. Yeah, I mean, if that's feast is yeah. If you buy a ticket, you're getting feast. So the plan is to have a feast. The one thing that I put in there, I think, is bring your own other meals. As I found, me personally, I found it easier just to feed myself because throughout the day, I was able to, have some food. I think several other people did the same thing. That would just kind of help mitigate the sharing of the food. Because I know households in the past sponsored them, but I think in this instance, we provide the feast. I've talked to Master Sethan about it. He assures me he can provide a safe feast, and I think we can safely move forward with that. And Karen has provided a mitigation plan for her tavern as well, which was greatly appreciated as well.
I like that the spacing for the tents is wide because there's a lot of space there that can be utilized. And also having people eating at distance. I personally don't mind sitting on the grass and eating.
Yeah, I think there might be a lot of sitting on the grass or bring your own chairs because we definitely don't have enough tables to cover everyone. Because if you all remember how shoulder to shoulder we were a couple years ago, that's not going to happen. But we'll be pretty spread out, and there'll be probably a lot of grass sitting and whatnot just to accommodate everyone.
Your Majesty, it may be worth, in order to keep mitigation in place, it may actually be worth it to turn feast into a picnic where we invite people to lay out their blankets and turn sideways, have the presentation on the cement of the pavilion, and have everybody have feast like a picnic.
That would be it. That's a good idea as well. I don't have the answer to that, Drasik, but I'm sure we can figure something out.
I mean, just don't use your camping spot? Question mark.
I think I think he might be asking more like, is there can there be like a, because I if I recall correctly, he's coming back Friday night, so he would only be there for like a day. So I think he wants, like just like a day pass.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. We have the different levels. I'll be working with Kraken to get it. We need to figure out the cost, what we want to charge every this year. So I'm hoping to have ticket sales up by the end of the month. Okay, is there any more discussion on this, or how do you guys feel? Do we want to table it for, just kind of mull it over for the next couple weeks? Do we want to make a decision tonight?
How do we feel about, we have previously allowed people to set up booths for their own selling purposes before. And I know like Kauren has done a little mini grill and all of that. Is that something that we want to allow?
Are you talking about like the bar and grill?
No. In like individual merchants selling foodstuffs. Like again, last time I actually was able to attend a Wolf's Cry. There were people selling food and things like that. I had been brainstorming a small Italian soda stand, that sort of thing. Is that not something we still want to provide? Correct.
That's a hard one because I can say no now, or I would say no now, but in 2 months I might change my mind. So we can always revisit this as we get closer.
Good.
And this is the basically the thing for tonight, or even in 2 weeks, is we need to decide if we want to go forward with a Wolf's Cry. That's the big thing. Do we want to have Wolf's Cry? And if we do, what's the safe way? And this is our safe way. Now, we might have to tweak it as we go, and I expect us to tweak it as we go, because I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know what it's going to look like in July, just the state of everything. So if we could get the foundations and then we continue to monitor and continue to have the discussion and let Kraken start doing his thing, I think, honestly, in 2 months, I think we're going to be in a really good spot, and we might be able to kind of relax some things and have our booths, because I know and have the booths and sell our wares and whatnot.
And supply the populace with delicious Italian sodas. No, fantastic. Yeah, that can be definitely a revisited thing once we know what the future looks like.
Yeah, and I think, like, for now, I mean, yeah, we can say this for now. This is what we're going to doing for now, and then as we have BoD meetings every 2 weeks from now until then, we can, go, all right, are we still good with it, and kind of revisit and make sure we're still good, or if we want to make changes as new information comes.
I definitely want to take note of number 7. If we have people not washing their hands after they use the bathroom, what is wrong with you? But that's about it.
So I make a motion to accept this plan under the having it be a limited drinks available. Accept this plan for now, and we can revisit it.
Seconded.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to accept the current Wolf's Cry mitigation plan using the second number 1, which is a limited alcoholic event. And then we will revisit it as going forward. This will also serve as we are going to move forward with Wolf's Cry. And then, yeah, cool. All right. From top to bottom, Astral wins.
Yep.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes, but you also skipped Lupin.
I just realized I skipped Lupin Moon, so Lupin Moon.
Yes, ma'am.
My brain is tired. Icefire Bay.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
And I accept as well. That was my no go date was 5/23, so right now we are at a go. And we will but before you start doing things, Kraken, I'd like to talk with you, not tonight, but we need to start talking about how moving forward, okay? All right, is there any other business to attend to for the BoD side? With that, not hearing anything, I make a motion to close this meeting.
Seconded.
All right, top to bottom, we have a motion on the table to close the meeting. Astral wins.
Yes.
Ravenstone.
Yes.
Lupinman.
Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Icefire Bay.
Yes.
KPM.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. This meeting is closed at 7:26 p.m. Give me 1 second. All right, this is the agenda for the CoC meeting. It is now still 7:26, so welcome to the CoC meeting. Everyone still here? Adge, are you here now? Did he leave? No, he's probably Lord.
I'm still Bullwinkle.
All right,
No, he's not. He's at it.
he left. All right. Oh, sorry, it's been a long day, a long weekend, and I am tired. All right, Astriana, do you have anything to report for us?
Not a whole lot. There are I think we have just a few days left to submit anything if you would like to bring it up as a proposal for Gathering of the Clans. We want to make sure that we have everything out at least 60 days in advance. And so Gathering of the Clans is happening at the end of July. So that means by the end of this month, any submissions need to be put in. Currently, there is a couple of surveys that are out by popular demand. I know people were, what's the word? Looking for surveys about Paladin, anti-Paladin. So make sure you take your time to fill that out because that's going to be really important when we get to Gathering of the Clans, because that's when that's going to be discussed. Whether it's decided there or not, I'm not sure, because that's all in the hands of the Rules Committee. And we're trusting them to do the job since we selected those folks. And then there is a couple of other surveys that are coming out. I know that we've been surveyed to death, but please, please, please take the time to fill out the surveys. It's super important to gather as much information as possible so that we can make good decisions. When we get closer, and I know exactly what's going to be on the Gathering of the Clans list of voting things, I'll put up a conclusive list on the Northreach page for everybody. That's about it.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, the last survey that I posted for credit does have a Paladin, anti-Paladin component to it, and the intention is to use that with the V8 to maybe try to open it up. So very important and to get your opinion out there regarding it. Adge, are you asking what is Gathering of the Crowns?
No, I just wanted to point out that it's Gathering of the Crowns, not Clans now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, hard habits are hard to old names are hard to break.
I'm just old, so there's that. I will work on it.
All right, moving down the list, COVID update. It's getting better. More people are getting vaccinated. Numbers are dropping, other than Fairbanks, who had a hot little breakout going on up there, but they have their numbers have gone down significantly. The hospitals, well, Fairbanks Hospital got overrun, but the rest of the hospitals are doing great. I mean, here in Anchorage, where there's hardly any people admitted for COVID, so that's great. So as we keep moving, as we keep chugging along, hopefully we can just slowly relax our mitigation rules and just get out and enjoy ourselves. Welcome to all the new PMs. Almost all of the PMs. Ravenstone has not had their mid-ring yet, but welcome to being a PM. Ajarsha's back for DLC, and welcome Bahari down in Frozen Coast, giving Ingrid a break anyhow. Yeah, Guinevere is sticking around anyway, so it's all good. But I just want to welcome you all to the madness, and you guys are one of the cruxes of our safely getting out onto the field. So thank you for all you guys do. All right. Oh, crown quals. Yeah, we just had mid-reigns, except Ravenstone. Ravenstone did move their mid-reign to next week. They're the last one left. But now we got to start talking about crown quals because they're in less than 2 months, or about 2 months. We have met and we have decided that Corin should be making an official post tomorrow, but crown quals this time around are going to be held just like the last ones. Runeheart, I forgot. Sorry, Runeheart is also, I'm going to backtrack. I apologize, Runeheart. My bad. I forgot you guys switched to. Crown quals. We are going to have online crown quals again this time around. We're going to call them Kingdom crown quals because it is going to be for both Kingdom and regional offices. Corin will be running them unless he decides to run again. We are going to have the same limitation or same reduced number of crown quals as we did the last time. If you are running for Kingdom Monarch or Kingdom Regent or Regional Monarch or Regional Regent, you must have 3 items that pass. If you are running for Kingdom Champion, Regional Champion, or Regional Heir Apparent, you must have 2 items that pass. They will be done all online, so you'll have to submit pictures again, and then they'll be judged over the weekend, and then the results will be released. So there you go. Start crafting. For those who are intending to run again, you've got around 6-ish days. All right. Which, of course, with ground calls, it means elections and end rain are coming. Elections, LOIs, I believe will open toward the. No, you cannot make 23 quals again. Slap you. The elections will. Oh my gosh. The elections.
I hear the sound of Adge knocking on your car window.
Yes, Adge is knocking on my car window. Him and Majersa. They're leaving, so they were telling me goodbye. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. What was I saying? Elections are coming up, so LOI should open toward the end at the end of this month, approximately. I would put Rollo on the spot, but I'm sure he hasn't looked at the calendar and isn't 100% sure. But they should be open for the month of June with the election in July. So start thinking about if you have the intent to run again, and if you have any questions, I'm sure a lot of the existing officers will gladly speak to you about being in office if you always have that inkling. And just also remember that you must be dues paid and meet regular member status, which is having right now is any 12 sign-ins in the past 180 days from anything within the entire kingdom. So if you attended Park Day online events up in Astra Winds, but you're from Ravenstone, those all count. All right. Why did I say something about regular meetings? Oh, well, the fact that we are meeting again, it's been great to be outdoors. I know everyone has been enjoying getting back out there and swinging some foam, so that's great. Just remember, we haven't done this in a while, so go slow, stretch if you need to, don't hurt yourself. Alrighty then. Upcoming events and fundraisers. Of course, we lost Ren Fair. That is very sad. But we still have Highland Games, which is at the end of next month. I do not expect that to be canceled. That'll be the last weekend of June. If you are dying to run this event, please let me know. We'll be needing people to come and run the archery booth and the fighting pit. So be on the lookout for requests to help that. State Fair also still appears to be a go. That's at the end of August. I'll be getting up the sign-up sheets for that here relatively soon, but I'll need volunteers to help me throughout the day to run the booth. We're in the same area as 2 years ago, which is down the Purple Trail.
I don't know. I'll have to ask my boss.
Poor Rose Dad, though. Yeah, go give it all your gall and forget, and then you're down for 3 days. Oh, right. I think I blew through everything pretty quick. I just want to say, and he's already left, but if you're still listening, and you guys did not see the post, but congratulations to Lord Adge. He has busted his butt getting the Shire Dark Large Crossing up and running, and has been running it for the past year, at least a year and a half. Unfortunately, he has decided to move down to Oregon. And so today is his last day on the council. And well, let me talk first, and then we can get to the minor approval.
I quit.
You quit, yes. So he is moving on Wednesday. He's leaving us for Oregon, and So I got to take advantage of being able to come down and actually see in Dark Lodge Crossing. It's a great group of people down there. He's done a great thing for this park. And before he left, he was going to come to Wolf's Cry, but then he wasn't going to come to Wolf's Cry. And so I had my secret discussion with the CoC, and I'm happy to announce that he has been elevated to the title of Lord, which is well deserved. And thank you, Ad, for everything you've done. You've been the little, you questioned everything, and you don't let us just take the easy way out. And your words are very, very thoughtful. So and very, they're welcomed, and they made us do some critical thinking. And we appreciate you. And good luck in Oregon. Okay.
Whatever is going on in the background there, Your Majesty, is very distracting.
Oh, I'm just sitting in a car. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm not tapping on the window anymore, so that's not me.
Oh, and maybe it's because I was like picking at something on my laptop, so maybe you're hearing that. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Last minute, it didn't make it on the agenda, but there has been discussion amongst some of the local monarchs up in Ravenstone and Lupin Moon, and some other members up there have discussed this. So I'm going to sit most of this discussion out, but I'm going to let hopefully Drake will speak to it. But I would like to petition the CoC to allow my daughter Zoe to take the field.
Oh.
I'm happy to speak on this one.
Please do.
All right. So Zoe, who let's see, her Amtgard name is Godwin. Has done she's done fighters practices. She's been around on the field as a non-combatant for like a couple years now, and so she's been around and has demonstrated that she can behave herself and mind instructions and Reeves and everything. She's done ANS as well, as Gideon points out. And has actually been quite beneficial to the park and the organization in general on a number of occasions. She is is she 11 or 12 now? I think she's 12.
She's almost 12.
Okay. She's size-wise, she's good. She's enormous, so so I'm not worried about anybody stepping on her. I feel like she'd be great, and she's she's got the track record, and one of the things we look for is an underage player's parents being invested in Amtgard. This is obviously the case, and we know that they will be there on park days when she's there.
Regarding Zoe, so one of the big things that I look about when approving people to be on field, if they are underage, is their maturity level. We do play a full contact game. It can be frustrating to get bowled over. It can be frustrating to feel like you have fight or flight instinct kicked in, and tempers can sometimes flare. Zoe is a better ghost hunter than I am. I scream, she runs at it. I've had the opportunity to hang out with her a couple of times, and she's pretty unshakable. She's pretty unflappable. She's very mature for a 12-year-old. So it is something I am 100% on board with for all the reasons that I just said, and in concurrence with Drake regarding her stature. She is a very tall 12-year-old. And so, yeah, she probably can take a hit better than I can. So.
The kid is like 2 inches shorter than me.
I make a motion to the CoC to ratify Godwin being able to play in Northreach.
I mean, I was going to ask if anybody had any questions they'd like to ask directly before we motioned. Not that I don't appreciate the motion.
The worst. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem like anybody does, so I second that motion, or I make a new one, however that works.
Hey, before you guys vote, I just wanted to make sure I cleared this part up. I think it got kind of mixed up in the noises and stuff there. Zoe is actually 11. She'll turn 12 in a couple months.
Yeah, no, they had asked how old she was, and I did say that she was 11, and she'll be 12 here in a couple months, so that was pointed out.
Yeah, I think that got kind of, there's some other talking happening at the same time, so I think that piece, they both mentioned that she was 12.
She's an enormous 11-year-old. Yeah, emotions are meh, so just, you're right, do the thing. Okay, so if I hearing no other discussions amongst everyone. Cricket, cricket. All right, we are going to vote to allow the minor Zoe Cavanagh to attend park days and participate, excuse me, in battle games from top to bottom. Ashton wins.
Oh yeah.
Ravenstone.
I will take any opportunity to hit Zoe with a stick that I can get, so yes.
Boop and Moon.
I second what Drake said. Let the whackings commence. Yes.
Frozen Coast.
Yes.
Ice Fire Bay.
Yes.
DLC.
Yes.
And I will say no. Just kidding. I will say yes as well. So welcome aboard, Godwin. I think you're listening. So get ready for Drake to hit you, and Nalarian and Gideon and and Boot, and just the list gets long and long. All right. Does anyone have any concerns or questions or anything like this before I wrap up the live from the car in Juneau edition of our meeting? Go miss my flight? You monster! All right. Oh, jeez. All right, then I'm going to call this meeting close at 7:44 p.m. I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day, and I will see you guys all next weekend. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Later.